أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير الله وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس بينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداع إذا دعاني فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون أهل لكم ليلة الصيام الرفث إلى نسائكم هن لباس لكم وأنتم لباس لهن علم الله أنكم كنتم تختانون أنفسكم فتاب عليكم وعفى عنكم فالآن باشروهن وابتغوا ما كتب الله لكم وكلوا واشربوا حتى يتبين الخيط الأبيض من الخيط الأسود من الفجر ثم أتموا الصيام إلى الليل ولا تباشرون وأنتم عاكفون في المساجد تلك حدود الله فلا تقربوها كذلك يبين الله آياته للناس لعلهم يتقون ولا تأكلوا أموالكم بينكم بالباطل وتدلوا بها إلى الحكام لتأكلوا فريقا من أموال الناس بالإثم وأنتم تعلمون صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah Ali beta. Allah give you reward for that. So, inshallah, we will begin here with Bismillah ar-Rahman. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Nahmadu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd, Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. So this ruku starts with Ya ayyuhal lazina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba alal lazina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. So it is the commandment of the roza or the fasting that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded on us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, Allah kutiba means Allah made it compulsory or command you to do fasting just like He did to the nations before you. So in the previous chapters we discussed that throughout the previous prophets from Adam alayhi salam to Isa alayhi salam, the Shariat might be a little bit different from prophet to prophet, but there were common elements that was common among all the prophets and their law or their Sharia. And fasting was one of it. Tawheed was one of it. Righteousness was another one. And so was the fasting. So if you look at that, all the other religions, they have some concept of fasting. Jews, they have the present day Jews, they have a practice and they fast for 24 days, 24 hours straight. And after that, this is only one time, one day in a year. Christian concept has been changed a little bit of fasting. So they have a concept of Lent or something that say they refrain themselves from favorite food. Or some Christian denomination, they practice fasting by consuming only liquid or juices or soups, but they don't eat any solid food. But if you look at the background, that our rozas, the rozas of Ramzan and the 30 days, this is the exact rozas that were made compulsory on Christians. Why? Because first the numbers were the same and the month was the same. So early Christians, they were made compulsory 30 rozas in the month of Ramadan. So as alteration or bidat crept into Christian faith, what they did, they changed the lunar calendar from Ramadan to a solar-based calendar. Why they did that? Because one of the emperor, he realized that sometimes, this fasting comes in heat of the summer months, and sometimes it comes in a cold months of winter. So he had to change to springtime, which was a pleasant and all that. And then when just to compensate, he added 7 more rozas to that. So instead of 30 rosa, they started fast. 1 week of that was added 37, and then again, one of the emperor got sick, so he said that I will increase it, so it went to 50. And eventually what happened, all the Christian people stopped fasting. So they have sort of some corrupted versions of fasting concepts and all that. But if you go to Hindus, the Hindus also have the same concept that 9 days in a year they do fasting, and they call the fasting of Durga. So why? Because all the previous, just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that Allah had made compulsory the fasting on the previous nations. So the command of Rosa came in the second year of Hijrat. And in the second year of Hijrat, when the Battle of Badr took place, there's no evidence that was made compulsory. So it was made in Shawwal. So I think people in the second year of Hijrat, they did not. But from the third year of Hijrat, they started fasting. Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to fast on 3 days before the second year of Hijrat, in which these Ramazan rosas made compulsory. He used to fast on 13th, 14th, and 15th, because these are called ayame baz. Baz means the egg or the whiteness. So, and history of that, Adam al-Islam was the first prophet to do the fasting. And the story has it that when he was descended to this earth, he could not withstand the scorching heat of this world. So his whole body got burned and it became very disfigured and discolored. So what he did fasting for 1 day, which was 13, and his 1/3 of the body got healed. And then he did that on 14, so his 2/3 of his body was, or the body skin was healed. And then he did that on the 13th. 15th, and this way remaining 1/3 of body got healed. Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, before this Ramazan Rosa, he used to fast 3 days, and he also used to fast one for the Ashura. Ashura was when Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam went to Medina, he observed Jews fasting on Ashura. And Ashura, they used to do that, and Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked them, why would you fast on Ashura or 10th of Muharram? So they say that this is the day when Musa alayhi salam was saved from Pharaoh. So Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told Muslims that, you should fast on this day, but just to differentiate from Jews, he told them to fast on 2 days continuously, either 9th or 10th or 10th or 11th. So that was a thing that he did. But Jews, again, they changed their lunar calendar to solar calendar. I think they still celebrate the festival of Ashura called Hanukkah, but that's calculated different. They had changed their calendar as well. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we made it compulsory so that you become pious. So how does Rosa make us pious? Maulana Abdul Siddiqi Saheb in his Tafseer is describing that gives you sense of hunger. Like usually, alhamdulillah, we have never experienced this hunger, just like because of poverty. But there are a lot of people in this world who starve because of poverty. So when you do the rosa or fasting, you realize how does it feel like. So it makes you pious in that way, that you feel the pain of a person who cannot eat because of their poverty or the lack of food. That is one aspect. Another aspect, other scholars have described it, that just like angels, like if you look at the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are about different creations. First is angels, that they have intellect, but they do not have any desires. So they do not have any needs. They do not need to eat something, and they do not need to interact with any have any wife, to have children, or Allah created them the way they are. On the other hand, there's another creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has desire and wants, but does not have any intellect, like which is animals. So they need food and all that. And third is human beings. We both have the intellect and also has the desire and needs. So when we do the fasting, actually we are suppressing our desires and our needs. So Imam Ghazali says that we become more like angel-like, because angels do not eat, do not have a relationship with they do not have any wife. So just like angels are closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so this fasting makes us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another thing is that basically this is tazkiyah nafs. Tazkiyah nafs is that all the human beings are actually a package of desires and intellect. So when you control it and according to the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with you, And this is also sabr. In previous chapter, we discussed it, that sabr is bearing the hardship for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He commands it, that do not eat or drink or have relationship with your wives from dawn to dusk. So you refrain from that. But this is not easy to go hungry all day long. But you do it for pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it trains us to bear the hardship for sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and for His pleasure. So Ayyaman Ma'dudat. So these are the prescribed days. So these are the prescribed days, are the 30 days of Ramadan. So whoever is sick or he is traveling, so he should replace those days. So for example, if somebody gets sick, like he had an intention of fasting, and for 2-3 days he was inflicted with fever and he could not fast it. So the jurisdiction he was living, so there was 29 rosas were absorbed because of lunar sighting. So he has to, if he lost 3 days of fasting, so in other days he have to fulfill that. Or somebody was traveling and he lost some days of fasting. So wherever he's based, for example, if he's based in Toronto or Hamilton or Chicago, so in Chicago, it was 30 days was done, and because of traveling or whatever, he lost of sickness, he lost 4 days. So his home city absorbed 30 days of rosas, so he should, and he lost 4 of them, so he should fulfill 4 extra days in other days other than Ramzan, so that his count is fulfilled. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that rosa is better for you because it is a lot of blessings in it. So just for, if you can find the courage to do that, so it is better for. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again is describing Shahru Ramadan allazi unzila fihi al-Quran. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says that Ramzan is the month in which Quran was revealed. And there's some detail we do not know, and we do not have to go that deep. So, from the Lawh Mahfuz in Quran was transferred to, this Alam Misal, and from this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descended. So, but what is that? That the blessed night, or Laylatul Qadr, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing in Surah Qadr as the blessed night, which is better than 1,000 months. So, what night is that? Of course, Quran was revealed in Ramadan. So Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he was 40 years old, so 6 months before the revelation of Wahi, he started getting dreams, or Roya Sadiqa. In this, Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was giving the Wahi through his blessed dreams. But one night in Ramadan, when he was in Cave Hira, Jibreel Amin came. What night was that? So it could be the Laylatul Qadr, could be any night, but it is most probably in Ramadan, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed. And Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, Al-Ma'ruf Ghawsul Azam Tasagir Pinanapi, when he writes in Ghunatul Talibin, it could be 21st, it could be 23rd, it could be any odd nights of last 10 days of Ramadan. But Ghawsul Azam is pointing out to the number 7. It could be 23rd, it could be 25th, it could be 27. But look at the number 7. There are 7 rounds of tawaf. He says that 7 colors of rainbow. There are 7 relations that are haram for marriage, and there are 7 heavens. So, and there are the 7 days of week. So 7 is a number. So he's sort of pointing out that it is 27. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the best. We are not supposed to. Another scholar, his name was Maulana Hassan Haqqani. He has a theory that in Surah Qadr, he says that if you count all the words of Surah Qadr, there are 30 words. So he says that, it could be that 30 words of Surah Qadr, Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. So this whole surah has 30 words, and there could be 29 or 30 nights of Ramadan. So the most it can have is 30. So he said that look at the 27th word of Surah Qadr, and that is Salamun hiya hatta matla'il fajr. Hiya is the 27th word of Surah Qadr, and hiya means this. So Maulana Hasan Aqani, he is of a belief that hiya means this. This could be like when we point out to something, we say this is the one or that is the one. So he's saying this could mean something. So I will leave the discussion here. I will not, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not revealed, who am I to discuss that? But I'm just pointing out some of the scholars that, how they have indicated it could be 27 of Ramadan. So, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, whoever finds the Shahr Ramzan or the month of Ramzan, they should fast in that. And whoever is sick or he's traveling, so they should replace that with other days, as we just discussed. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not intend to have hardship on you, but rather he intends ease on you. And or he just wants you to so this is the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is making it easy. So if somebody gets sick or traveling, so it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's ease that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making that, okay, you replace those days that you are traveling or sick, you replace it. So that is the ease of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't say that, under all condition, even if you are sick, you have to do. So this is the, so Allah, we should always count the blessing of all that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed upon us. And there's a hadith of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that a person fasting, for him there are two pleasures. And one pleasure is when he opens his fast. Like we, alhamdulillah, eat good food all year round. But after fasting, the pleasure we get when we break our fast, it could be simple food as, a date or a glass of juice. But the joys we have it, the pleasure we have it, we never have it in any other food. So Nabi Sallallahu say that for fasting person, there are two rewards or two pleasures. One is when he open his fast, and another one is when he will meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the day of judgment. Because a fasting person, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he meet him, there will be pleasure. What pleasure would be? Nabi Sallallahu, it will be a very big pleasure than the first pleasure when we open the fast. So this is the reward of a fasting person. Now is Bismillah. Is Sa'alaka ibadi anni. So my people are asking you. He's referring to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that people are asking about me. So tell them that I'm very near. And when people call me, I answer their call. And so you also should fulfill my commands, because when people call on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the need, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala listen to them and answer to them. So it is compulsory upon we, the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what he calls upon or what he commands upon, such as fasting, we should follow that. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is continuing that this is the concept of dua, that that dua is actually called the essence of all the ibadat or all the worship, because all the worship is the essence of that is humility. When you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you go on the sujood or ruku, you're bowing yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and showing your humility. So in sujood or sajda, you're rubbing your nose in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and describing his greatness. You say subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. So you are praising him with your ultimate humiliation. Like, ultimate humiliation is you rub your nose in the front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do. So dua is the essence of that. Because in dua, the arrogant person would say, oh, I will get it done, don't worry about it. But a person of humility will say, oh, I cannot do that. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help me out. So he shows his humbleness, his humility to subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the concept of dua is when person raises his hands, just like a beggar come with his begging bowl to a wealthy person and a very generous person and begs, please give me something. I have this need. So that's what we do to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That that oh Allah, we are helpless. Help us. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forbidden or made it makruh for the people to beg to other people, do not ask your needs to any other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now another topic, uhilla lakumul laylatul siyam or rafasu ila nisaikum hun libasul lakum wa antum libasul lahum. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it halal for you that to meet your wives after the when you break the fast, because when the command came in the second year of Hijrat of Rosa, but people did not fast till the third year of Hijrah, because the order came in Shawwal, right after the Ramazan. So Battle of Badr took on the 17th of Ramazan. So there's no evidence that those mujahideen or those ashab Badr were fasting. So command came right after that, or it could be it came in Shawwal of most of the scholars. Some people say that command of Rosas came in the before the Badr, but because of battle, it was not observed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the best. But I'm of opinion, my humble opinion is that it came in Shawwal, the command of command. So when people were fasting earlier, so they would feel a guilt, okay, that after fasting, what they did, they met their wife or spent time with their wife. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it lawful for you, or it make to meet your wife. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also describing that they are garment to you and your garment to them. So this is also in the nikah ceremony also, it is this part of the ayat is recited. So this is also described the relationship between husband and wife, how the relationship should be, and how it is that when you say that garment, the husband is the wife garment of a wife, and wife is a garment of a husband. So just like in garment, it shelters you from the hardship of weather. So that's how the spouses should be for each other. They should protect themselves from the hardship of life rather than hardship of weather. Also, when we clothe ourselves and we do the matching, that we wear a white shirt with a black pant, or do the matching things with that. So that's how the match should be between the spouses. The third thing is that just like clothing hide a person's shame and all that, so that's how a husband and wife should be. They should hide each other's weaknesses. So this is people scholars have contemplated deeply on this blessed ayat, and if we contemplate on that, there's a lot of meanings that will emerge from it. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that eat and drink and whatever you want to do once you till the dawn. So it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want any hardship on you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to be pious. And the way the thing is that in the Maghrib time, when you open the fast, until the Fajr time, you're allowed to eat and drink whatever you want, or meet your wife. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالُكُمْ بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْبَاطِلِ وَتُدْلُوا بِهَا لِلْحُكَّامِ لِتَأْكُلُوا فَرِيقٌ مِّنْ أَمْوَالِ النَّاسِ بِالْإِثْمِ وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. So last part of that, just like, why do we stop eating our favorite food? Because of command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that do not gain any money or any financial benefit by cheating or unlawful things, or do not those officials, do not give them any bribe or any favors, so you can win unfavorable favors from the government, all that, if you want to win any tender of anything. And so just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us that just it makes you pious, that we can bear the hardship of fasting. Why do we do that? Because we do not want to eat any haram food. So, but same goes with other things. It is for the not only for the 30 days, but it practices that anything that is unlawful, do not eat it, because we get trained 30 days by bearing the hardship of hunger, because we are willing to do that for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So even that Ramadan is passed after that, so we do not earn any money that is unlawful to us, that is haram to us, that has been earned by cheating other people or by bribing some officials. So this is the piety, lesson of piety that we learn in month of Ramadan, and we should carry it all 12 months of the year. So inshallah, we will stop here, and inshallah, any comments? Jazakallah khair.
MashaAllah, Ali bhai.
Jazakallah. Any brothers have any comment?
No, Ali bhai, alhamdulillah.